Welcome, sports fans, to another Rick's Cards TTM extravaganza. TTM meaning through the mail, if you haven't heard already. We send cards and photos to our favorite sports celebrities, movie stars, politicians, people who we think will give us an autograph. And hopefully they do. And we report the news to you on who does what. So, without further ado, let's get on with it. And before we start, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. It helps me out and lets me know that I'm doing this in front of somebody instead of talking to myself. Our first return took 9 days, coming out of Pittsburgh, PA, and it is a 3 of 3. And it is from Steve Blass. Very good pitcher for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Won a couple World Series games. Don't quote me on that, but I know he was really good for those Pirates back in the day, and he's been an announcer for the Pittsburgh Pirates. I don't particularly like him, but it's because he doesn't like the Cardinals. He signed this in-action card here, this Game 7 World Series 71 card, and he signed 2 of these 1972 tops for me. So, thank you, Mr. Steve Blass. Our next return comes out of Atlanta Metro. It's a 2 of 2. It's from the very first DH. Do you know who he is? It is Ron Bloomberg. He was actually technically the very first DH in the American League. He signed this 72 for me, and he signed an autograph card for me. Thank you, Mr. Bloomberg. Good to get a little history. Our next one comes out of Las Vegas, Nevada. A 3 of 3. It took 27 days. That Bloomberg, by the way, took 10 days. And the Blass took 9 days. I don't know if I told you that or not. And this next one comes 3 of 3. 27 days. And it's one of my favorite players growing up. Bernie Carbo. I liked Bernie. He signed this 75. He also signed, looks like a 80 tops. He's with the Indians. And believe it or not, I don't have a Cardinal card of him. I can't find it anyway. And he signed this autograph card. That looks really cool on that baseball. That blue ink just pops out of there. I know my friend there, Johnny Sereno, would love something like this. Thank you, Mr. Carbo. I mentioned that because Johnny always says how the blue ink pops. There's your shout out, Johnny. Our next one comes out of Orlando, Florida. There are more ball players in Orlando, or in Florida, I should say. This one took 8 days. It's a 2 of 2. And it is from Eddie Tobin on that shiny pinnacle. He signed 2 of them for me. I haven't been doing this much, but you can see the shininess there. What I call my shiny cards. He signed 2 of those for me. Took him 8 days. Thank you, Mr. Tobinsey. Our next one comes from a 2 of 2 coming out of West Palm Beach, Florida. This gentleman's 84 years old. He signed 2 of 2 for me. He signed the 72 tops. It is Phil Regan, longtime relief pitcher, Dodgers, Cubs. He signed this tops for me. It took him 12 days, and he signed this autograph card. I really like these autograph cards. Wish they had them when I was going to ball games and getting guys to sign. Would have been easier trying to carry baseballs to get them to sign. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Regan. Our next one comes out of Corpus Christi, Texas. Took him 9 days. It's a 3 of 3. And it is from Jim Aker. Jim Aker, pitcher for Toronto. Mainly Toronto, I guess Toronto. He signed this, excuse me, 91 Fleer. And he signed this 91 Score. And he signed a 92 Tops. Thank you, Mr. Aker. And let's see what's next here. This one's coming out of Macon, Georgia. 4 of 4. Took 7 days. And I think I by mistake sent this gentleman twice, so I got a feeling I got another one coming back. This one, 7 days, like I said, Macon, Georgia, a 4 of 4, and it is Bruce Benedict. Mr. Benedict signed this 84 Fleer. He also signed an 88 Score. And he signed 2 89 Donruss. I got a feeling I got a bunch more coming from him. I just looked at my notes and, oh man, I already sent him. It happens, I guess. But he looks like he's more than willing to sign, so thank you, Mr. Benedict. I remember you catching for the Braves. You were pretty good, I thought. I think you were a backup from Murray when Murray started. Dale Murphy, I should say. Okay, like I always try to do, I get a little variety. And I had my first football return last week. This one's coming out of San Bernardino, California. It took 9 days. It's a 3 of 3. And I have a coach, football coach, Jim Mora, former coach of the Saints. Like I said, I don't really collect football, but I've got the cards, so why not? So maybe some of my friends out there might need them, and we can trade and get something I need. So he signed this card. It's a pro set. I don't know what year. I think it's a 90. Signed that for me, and he signed 2 index cards. He was good enough to do. So thank you, Mr. Coach Mora. I appreciate that. Only my second football return. And we might as well throw a movie star in there. Our next return comes out of White Junction, Vermont. And it is a 3 of 3. And it is from Karen Copens. You might know her by seeing her picture. She was in the movie, my favorite movie of her, Once Bitten with Jim Carrey. If you've ever seen that movie, she played Jim Carrey's girlfriend. And she was in a couple other things, a lot of different soap operas, but that was her main thing. She retired early and raised a family. And she was nice enough to sign this for me, and she signed 2 index cards. Karen Copens, Kopins, actress. Thank you, Karen. Took her 17 days to send that from Vermont. And last but not least, we're going to race in here with a Nascar. This is coming out of North Carolina. Took them 37 days. It's a 1 of 1. And it is from Mr. Mark Martin. I loved Mark Martin when he raced. I wouldn't call myself I'd call myself kind of an average fan of racing. I haven't watched it for the last couple years because of guys like him retiring, Jeff Gordon retiring. Jeff Gordon was my favorite. But I love Mr. Martin in that Viagra car. It took him 37 days to send me this, and I thank you. And I thank you for watching. That will do it for today. And remember to please hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't, tell your friends, and we'll see you next time. Until then, always hustle. You never know who's watching. Bye.